Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Dan Book Nook Noggin, and if you're like me, you like horror, you like comics, and you like vampires and comics. So, I was first introduced to DC Comics' main vampire character, Andrew Bennett, and I, Vampire's New 52. Now, I'm aware of the character's existence prior to that, but I had not read any of that material before that. Because let's face it was not easy for me to find and track down all those old issues. But yeah, so when I got wind of this sometime last year, I was like, oh, DC versus vampires? I'm like, this might be something that I could get excited for. I saw it and I was like, I kind of knew that that character was going to be incorporated somehow, but I wasn't entirely sure. I wasn't sure if DC was going to kind of try to handle this the way they did their zombie outbreak story. That one I thought was okay. If you want to see a good superhero zombie outbreak story, I'm going to say go with Marvel's, because I felt like Marvel's was just a much stronger storyline versus the DC one. But enough of me ranting about that. Let's talk about this one. Now, this one is DC versus Vampires, Volume 1. It's written by James Tynion IV. And I'm not exactly sure how many issues went into this. Let me see. It's got nice art. I'm going to say right off, the art and the layout and all that's fantastic for this book. Oh, Rosenberg wrote it too. Okay. It's weird. It doesn't say what single issues. Oh, wait, there it is. DC versus Vampires, numbers 1 through 6. And yeah, like I said, the artwork was the highlight for this book. It's the artwork. Look at that back cover with Superman. Now, this kind of, I feel like this was super hyped. I feel like I was super excited to read this at first. But then as the story kind of develops, and there were just kind of little things that just kind of irked me a little bit. Like, for instance, you know, the transformation of certain superheroes and just how they picked and chose, you know, who was to be allowed to become a vampire and who wasn't, and the politics behind that, and then the whole thing's going on in the villain community too. So everybody's not sure who's a vampire and who's, you know, and they don't know who to trust. The story was just kind of weak, in my opinion, in that regards. And the whole mystery of it was just like, well, the main vampire queen, Mary, whatever her name is, she's dead, and Andrew Bennett's going around trying to warn everybody. But yeah, so like, you know, that was the main focus and the drive to finish the story. So I felt like it was really not as strong a read as it could have been. And then when they finally did reveal who the Vampire King was, I was kind of like, oh, really? That's who they picked? And they kind of hyped up and made it set up so that you thought it was going to be one person in the DC Universe over another. And yeah, like I said, big letdown. And of course it ends on a cliffhanger. And I don't even know, like, if they ended this in, like, separate books, like, did it end in the Justice League book, or did it end in, like, you know, the various series like Green Lantern and Green Arrow and all that? Because I don't know if I want to try to track down all those books to try to finish this story. I mean, sometimes when stories don't really sell themselves with the main storyline, it kind of leaves you wondering, do you really want to finish it? And I'm going to say I don't feel like finishing out this storyline. It just, it was... You know, so I gave this a 3 out of 5 star rating on Goodreads. The strongest drive was the art. Like I said, it was an okay read, I guess. I was overhyped. I felt like it could have been done much better than it was, which is kind of disappointing because I love James Tynion's writing. I think he's a good writer. Yeah, this fell flat for me. But it is what it is. If you wanted to read it and you want to check it out for yourself, of course, as always, I will have a link to Amazon down below. I get a very small percentage of anything that's bought through those links. Of course, I'm going to also throw down a link to my coffee channel if you want to help support my channel. Any little bit that you donate through there helps support my channel, as I'm not getting AdSense, you know, the glorious AdSense, which seems like an unreachable, unattainable goal. So I have to use those affiliate links. We gotta pay the bills, like they always say in my favorite podcast. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Of course, I'm gonna have to edit this because Timmy's being a brat, right, Timmy? You're being a brat. You're being a brat. Till next time, later.